Welcome to the Love Conquers podcast, where I interview dope couples who will be dropping gems on areas of your relationship that you might need help in. So I'm excited, man. I got two special people in the building, Rob and Jasmine Love. I don't know if y'all know these people, but they one of the dopest couples in Chicago, and of course they here to drop gems. So how y'all doing today?
Pretty good. Just glad to be here. Appreciate the invite.
No, that's dope. How you feeling?
I'm well and nervous.
Well and nervous. Hey,
right.
look, we on the Love Conquers podcast, so I'm pretty sure you're going to settle in. Yeah. So, and I just thought about it. Y'all last name is Love.
Yes,
Love
yes,
Conquers. This is perfect.
Yes.
So, before we get into it, man, and y'all start dropping gems, because I know y'all got some dope information, because y'all been a couple for, I don't know, how long?
13 years.
12 years.
Ooh, that's a good thing. He trying to put time on it, though. He trying to.
That's a secret, yeah. That's a gem right
that's
there.
That's a gem.
Add 2 years just in case.
We already started.
That's a gem all right there.
We already started. Rob Love said, when you with your wife, don't put less time on it. Put more.
Can't go wrong after that.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
So let me ask y'all this, man. Like I said before we get into it, what makes y'all a dope couple? This don't have nothing to do with the gems y'all dropping. I just want to know, like, what makes y'all 13 years in the game a dope couple?
Well, I want to say we started real young when I was 19. We were 19, so 32 now. So that just show you the longevity right there. I mean, I see her grow up from a young bald head. I'm just playing. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. But I see her grow real mature from a young lady to now a grown woman, and it's fascinating. Now we have 5 children together as a blended family, so that's a blessing within itself.
Yeah.
She blessed me, my little girl, a couple boys. So, I mean, this lady is fantastic, and I mean, I just...
So what you feel, Jazz? What makes y'all a dope couple?
It's me.
Oh,
Make him dope.
Oh, I like that.
That's true. That's true.
That's another gem,
That's
y'all.
another gem, man.
Hey, whatever your wife say, what you supposed to say?
It goes. Yes.
That's
You're
it.
Right. You're right. That's it.
Hey, but you just said a lot already. Like you said, 13 years in the game. So for a lot of people, that's hard to go. Mm-hmm. They say the average person goes like after 10 years, they separate.
Right.
So for you guys to have 13 years in the game, I want to congratulate y'all to that.
Appreciate
and
it.
You have multiple kids on top of that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you're a business, you work, and you have your own business,
yes.
the Seven Love brand.
Seven Love brand,
yes. Which is what I'm rocking right now, obviously. Seven Love all day, y'all, man. Yep. Matter of fact, before you got a website, you got something for the people?
Yes, actually, 7loveapparel.com. Check it out. Dope brand, based out of Chicago. It's really basically, if you want to know the meaning behind Seven Love, basically me, my wife, my 5 children. So together they make 7. Basically based off family, love, unity. That's all I'm about. That's the foundation of anything outside. So first it starts in your home before you do anything in life. It starts at home. So you build that strong foundation, love, family together, you can do anything in life. So that's why I figure for as long as I have this solid, I'm good to go. But 7loveapparel.com, check it out.
7
jogging suits, whatever. So check it out.
And it's for men and women.
Men and women, yes. I have a couple kids clothing on there as well. Too. So if you have a kids, reach out. I can make it happen for you. So
nice. Hey, 7loveapparel.com. Look, I want y'all to stay tuned for the whole episode. I might convince this man to give y'all a discount for watching this special podcast, and this is gonna be super dope, y'all. So tell me, man. Look, I know he said 13 years, 5 kids. Watching you and your wife go from youngins really to grown folk. That's a lot. Like,
yes.
How you feel about that, Jasmine? Like, in terms of you a mom of a household of 5. You know what I mean? Like, is it a lot to be in a relationship 13 years with being a mom of a household like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
5 kids. Well, 6 including him sometimes. I gotta take care of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot.
But you're the queen.
But I can handle it.
Nice, cause you're the queen of the house. So, as the queen and king of the house, let me ask y'all this. I know y'all came on here to drop gems. What would you say is something that you guys mastered or conquered in your relationship? Like, and I know you still probably working on it, obviously, because nothing is, just like everything continual process.
Right.
But what do you feel like something that y'all like, man, we kind of in this area of our relationship, you know, because like I said, y'all dealing with a lot, working, kids, you know what I mean, 13 years, like that's a lot. Like, what do you feel like y'all kind of conquered or mastered?
I would like to say parenting together, communication is probably really the main two. Those two together. I mean, parenting, like I said, we have a crazy dynamic, but me and her together both came in with our family with a child each, and then we have 3 together, so which makes the 5. So I think parenting, we kind of mastered that, just bringing my son and her son together. Now we're a whole big family, one big blended family. So I think that was great. Communication, like I said, we started at 19, so communication with your husband and wife is very important from a young. Actually, we've been married for 5, but together for 12 years.
Okay.
That she corrected, but like I said, communication and parenting, I think is the biggest key aspects of our relationship. What about you? You agree?
Yeah.
You agree?
Communication is
Yeah.
one of our best strong points. At first it wasn't, because we both was raised different. So I tend to more communicate with him about my feelings, and he's more reserved with his feelings.
Yeah.
And we both had to like come on the same page of how to express ourselves to each other, and we finally conquered it.
Nice. Yeah, y'all just said a lot, man. Like, I got so many questions. So, I heard you say family in terms of, I heard you say earlier, you said blended family. I like how you said that. Yeah. It's a family that came together.
Right, exactly.
And then both of you agreed on communication. So and that probably go hand in hand, right? In order to have a great family, you got to be able to communicate. You know what I mean? That makes sense. So I like how y'all connected those dots. Like, when did y'all realize though, like, family and communication, we actually good at this thing now? Like, was it just recently? Was it like, because once again, 13 years.
Right.
Y'all on track to make 20 years. And the average couple gets divorced after 10.
Yeah.
So y'all already past the mark.
Right.
Like, when did y'all realize on y'all journey of making it to 13 years, like, yo, we've been through some stuff. 'Cause I'm pretty sure y'all been through some stuff, right?
Yeah. I would say when we tied the knot, when we got married, I think at that point we knew, like, okay, we was together for 7 years.
And that was how long
already.
ago again? You said 5 years?
Yeah, that was 5 years ago. So at like our 7th year mark, whatever, that's when I think we kind of mastered it. Like, man, let's tie this knot. We here. We did it. We went through this 7 years of my crap and her crap, and together we made something beautiful. So, and also we had a son, Carmelo, my man right there. But I think the birth of him and when we got married was the 2 biggest keys, and when we figured, like, let's do this.
Got it.
Yeah.
So do you feel the same way, Jazz, in terms of, like, he said the 7-year mark, and it's crazy that you said that. I don't even know if you realize that you said that, because 7 love. Like,
7's a magical number.
Like, 7 love at the 7-year mark is when y'all got married.
Yeah.
And then it's 7 of y'all.
Yeah.
Like, 777. This couple, I need y'all. That's special, right? Like, everything is protecting y'all.
Yeah.
Like, cause, I don't know how spiritual you guys are, but everything is protecting y'all.
Yeah.
Like, you just represent. You made a clothing brand 7-year mark when y'all tied the knot, and it's 7 of y'all.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Like, that's a dope couple right there. That's dope. When you think about a dope couple, I don't know how many couples can say that. I got a clothing brand 7. We got 7 of us, and we got married at year 7.
And my youngest son name is 7. It's a lot of 7.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of things going on with 7.
Hold on.
A lot of things 7.
Did you play the lottery yet? You need to play 7. That's
I'm
it.
slap my pops them numbers because he play every day.
Yeah, you better slap him another ASAP, man. That's special right there.
Yeah.
That's super dope, man. We talking about a dope couple on the podcast today, dropping gems. So let me ask you this, Jazz. I know your husband, he said, man, 7 years, was like when we, kind of got on the same page. Was that journey hard though? Like, was it, if you can get a people something, because remember, I know y'all dropping gems today, like, what would you tell, because that's impressive too, for y'all. A lot of people, they put pressure on people to get married like a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in. And at the 4-year mark, it's a lot of people who like, you ain't put a ring on it yet?
Right.
What Beyonce? She say what? What she say? If you like it,
Mm-hmm.
put a ring on it. You know, but like y'all actually, you know, stuck it out 7 years before y'all agreed to do this, you know, marriage thing. What would you tell that couple out there that's like, from a woman perspective, that's like, man, I'm ready to get married. We going through it, but I know we growing at the same time. Like, what advice would you give her?
Not to rush the man, because if down the line, if you feel like you had to tell this man to marry you, it's not gonna work, because he's always gonna come back and say, "Oh well, I only married you because you wanted me to." So we just have to come together and like actually say, okay, when are we getting married? If both of us have to be on the same page about being married. So with women that's engaged or with their partner for a long time, I say just don't try to force the man, because it won't be right. Because in the back of his mind, he's always going to say, okay, you forced me. Or against our argument, you forced me to be married. I never really wanted this, and I wasn't ready to propose yet. So you just got to give the man the time. And if he want to marry you, he will. You shouldn't have to force him.
So, wow, like, gym alert. Y'all know I do my gym alerts. Gym alert, gym alert, gym alert. Do not rush the other person to marry you, because, as Jasmine said, it could possibly bite you later on down the line when that person like, well, I only married you because you rushed me to.
Exactly.
Right?
Someone said,
that's a gem for man and woman, right?
Yeah, that's a big step.
You know?
So you got to be ready.
So what
in your life to the other person.
Yeah, and I know that, you know, you were the one to get on your knees traditionally and ask this woman to marry you. I know it took you 7 years. Was it? I know, as far as you said, blended family communication. As a man, like, what were you thinking about? Were you nervous? Because, like, you've been with her so long already.
Yeah.
But, like, marriage is still another step.
Right.
So, like, were you nervous? Did you think, like, were you 100? Like, I already been with her. I know she's going to say yes. Like, what was that process like?
Yeah, I was definitely nervous.
Okay.
I knew she was going to say yeah, though. I mean,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, I knew she was. But, yes, I was nervous. I was nervous. I think what made me do it, just talking to a few people. People I got in my corner, just talking with them and, you know, telling them what I'm thinking about, and they were like, you know, everything checks out with her. Like you said, I was with her for 7 years. She adored my son that I brought to her. You know, she treated him like her own, no different at all. And it's just certain things. It's like, it's like it was a sign. Like, man, she's the one. I'm gonna be with her. Like, yeah, she's the one. She's the one going to bear my last name, have my kids. So when you find that person, you know, you don't want them to slip away because it'll be too late. She might not, you know. Hey, also don't take too long now, because you know she might be wasting her time, and she, you know, ready to get on to the next whatever chapter in her life. So I think, I was definitely nervous. I did it at Navy Pier.
Okay.
On top in the Ferris wheel.
Chi-Town, that's dope.
In the Ferris wheel.
Okay.
So I was on my knees and I was a little scared, nervous, because it was shaking. The little Ferris wheel was shaking, and one of my guys, my guy Twan, he was there to record the whole moment. So. Yeah, that was another reason why I was nervous. I was shaking, think I was gonna fall out the air or something. So,
right.
But other than that, though, I was really nervous. But I knew that's what I wanted to do, and made it happen.
Look, man, I got Jasmine, I got Rob Love in the building, man. They dropping gems. You got Jasmine that just said, "Hey, don't rush the other person." You know, you got Rob that just came back and said, "Hey, look, it's a process. You know, you still gonna be nervous, but if you know that's the person for you, then capitalize on that." And I hope y'all caught something else he said, because I caught it, man. It hit me hard too. He said, make sure you got the right people around you. Right? Like he actually had people around him that like helped him, you know, realize. I know he already realized, but he had the right team around him to say, "Hey, yo, bro, this the one." Because you could have had other people telling you, like, "Man, be a player, right?"
Right.
Like,
forget
that.
Right,
like, you know what I mean? Don't, you know, do your own thing.
Right.
You a handsome guy, you making money out here, like, you know. So that's pretty dope. That's a gem in itself. Let me ask y'all a question. I know y'all said, you know, let's touch back on this family and communication thing, right? Like I'm assuming, I know both of you guys had kids, so both of you were in relationships before, right? You know, and you were early, early in your career. You 19, 20, 21.
Right.
You know, you had previous relationships though. Like, did you know? How did you know that your communication was bad? Was it because like your previous relationships you knew, like, or did you guys argue, or was it like I just want to get a point across, but I can't really get it across? Like, Jazz, like, how did you know that like we got to work on this thing? And like, and for you, what was that? Did y'all come up with like a strategy? Like, what does that look like?
I think like she touched on earlier, just different views and upbringings. I think I'm just, like she said, she's the one that we get to argument. She would like to talk about it, find the root cause, resolve it. Me, hey man, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Man. We'll talk later. And then when I come back, I'm thinking it's supposed to be okay. That's just how I am. Like, we good. Like, we don't need to talk about it. But I think she was the one like, no, I want to see what's going on. And she was real on me, like, no, we need to figure this out. Let's figure this out. No, let's not wait, because even if I think everything's okay the next day, it's really not. She can be feeling a certain type of way, and it'll dwell and lead up to other arguments and things like that. So
let me ask you this now. Did you change, or did she change, or was it like both of y'all changed?
Both of us.
Yeah.
And so that change occurred through what? Like, just, cause it's somebody, I'm about to ask y'all a question, because if somebody is looking at this right now, like, they looking at this like, we going through communication issues, and I'm just like you, Rob. Like, I'm ready to just go. Like, I'm cool on really trying to talk it out. Let me breathe.
Yeah.
Then somebody like Jazz is looking at this right now, like, but I want to talk it out.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that is, I don't know if neither person is wrong.
Right.
It's just perspective.
Right.
Because somebody is like, hey, I just want to breathe.
Right.
Somebody is saying like, why we got to breathe though? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Like, for that couple out there, because they watching y'all right now, and they need help. They struggling right
I think it's clarification on the communication. Like, let's not miscommunicate. I think that's more, because she'll be saying something, you too busy either talking over or, vice versa or whatever. But I think that's getting the clarification of what's going on, because she can be mad at something and I don't want to hear it. I walk out, versus if I would have just listened, say what she had to say, combat it, and say what I had to say in rebuttal, she could have, oh, okay, I understand. We not, you know what I'm saying? Or the vice versa. It's just, I think, clarification in the communication, getting a point across to the other person where they can understand, give them time to combat it, to respond and actually have dialogue. Just have dialogue between the two.
That's a gem, y'all.
Yeah, dialogue.
Check it out. That's a gem. He said, let's walk that through slow, because you just said some stuff in that, right? Like, even if, this is what I heard, because you're teaching me right now, I'm learning. even if you guys have different perspectives on life, one person feels like they need to breathe, the other person feels like they need to talk. You saying, hey, even with those different perspectives, let each other get your full thought out before you just walk away from it.
Right. That's all. And now from there, you can still go take a breath and do what you got to do, take a time, but at least get everything out, because that's part of a lot of arguments. People will yell and scream and this and that. The other person barely listening, walking away, and that's the point.
But let me ask you this, Jazz, and I gotta ask you this, because it's a guy still though, like Rob, and I'm gonna have to ask your wife a question for a reason, right? It's a guy still like, Rob, you telling me to talk it out? Well, you telling me that's different. Gym alert, you said, you didn't say talk it out, you said listen. You telling me to listen, but I just want to walk away. How did you help your husband? Because you said both of y'all worked on it, right? But how did you help Rob know, like, hey, babe, I'm going to let you breathe?
I mean, I have learned him over the years, and I learned that, like, when we do get into an argument and I may want to talk about it, he's not the type of person he just want to talk about it right now. He needs to calm down first. And I had to figure out and learn to just let him be for a while. And he'll be maybe an hour or two, then he'll be back. He'll be cool after that. So I had to just learn myself and to just let him breathe, even though I want to talk about it right then and there.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am. Because I was my emotions on my sleeve, so I just got to talk about it right now. It was gonna bother me the
Mm.
entire night, but I had to also learn of how he is and that he needed to breathe just to come back and talk to me about it. So I just had to learn him more, and I didn't want it to make it seem like I was about me. So it was both of us. We had to give and take. So he had to change also, because sometimes when I want to talk, he would have to say, okay, well, I'll listen to you. So I just had to learn to give him time. But he'll come back, but still.
For somebody that said she was nervous starting this podcast, she dropping gems, y'all. Like, I feel it through my body. I wish I was here right now, because the feeling that I just got, it just, my hairs just came up. So like, let's dive into that, because I don't want nobody, when I say gem alert, I don't want nobody to miss that. Like, both of y'all just said some powerful things, right? You preferenced and you said, hey, you gotta listen before you speak.
Yeah.
Listen before you speak. Right? Jazz, you came back and said, hey, even though I knew who my husband was and I know who I am, I think that's a gem in itself. Learn who
your partner.
Learn who your partner is.
Yeah.
Like, learn what your partner like and don't like.
Right.
Learn what your partner can handle.
Yeah.
And going back to Jasmine, the first gem alert on the podcast today was, don't pressure nobody. Let's work in it together, right? That's what y'all saying. Like, let's work together. And so I hope that couple after this, just thinking like, man, our communication has to get better. I hope you just heard something. I hope that you just, because this is what I learned. Like, I can't wait to take this back to my relationship. Like, I just learned this myself, which is stay in the relationship to listen, right? And Jazz came and said, listen, it's still not going to be perfect.
Right.
Like, that's what I heard personally. Like you said, even though some days you want to talk right then and there, you kind of, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so let me ask you, do you kind of like prioritize, like, is this something that needs to be talked about, or can I give my husband that time? Is it something kind of like that you, for that wife or that husband out there, they like, okay, Jazz, we get that. Understanding, giving each other space. But is it something like, how do you know when to give him space, though? Do you base it off the conversation? Like,
the conversation, and if he is angry or upset, I have learned to just leave him alone for a couple minutes or a couple hours, and he'll come back to his senses.
Yeah.
And he'll be okay. He'll be good.
He know at home at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be good. But I just have to just learn it, let him go.
That's dope, man, because, I realized through, interviewing other couples and talking to people, people can't hear people when they upset.
Right.
So, like, that's a gem in itself. Right? Like, man, y'all coming with that fire today, man. Like, people can't hear people when they upset. Like, but even through that process, I'm pretty sure, get the fellas, man. Fellas deal with this, man. That anger, because we
masculine.
Yeah. That masculine
Alpha.
energy comes out. We dominant, Talk that talk. Like, tell the fellas out there, like, hey, what would you tell the fellas? Like, even though you mad, because it's been some times where you were mad, but you learned your white.
Right.
And you said, I'm mad. I got to get out of here. But hold on. You stopped the feet from moving.
Right.
And you said, all right, babe, go ahead. Let me, like, was that hard for you to transition into that?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. He getting real. Yeah. Talk that talk.
Definitely tough. It was definitely tough, but I feel like in the end, and for my partnership, for my spouse, I think it's better if we just, like she said, we're different, but even though I want to walk away, sometimes I still do, but I don't, I give myself a couple minutes and I'll come back, because like you touched on earlier, honestly, you cannot hear other people when you're angry. Like, I don't care, you mad, you couldn't repeat one word, two words that somebody else said when you mad, because you're in a deranged state that you're not really, you're not listening to what that person's saying. So at first, before I get mad or whatever, angry, I'll try to dial down and listen. And just like I said earlier, just have dialogue, because as men, we're going to get tough, man. It's tough for us, trust me. It's tough, but I say take a breath deep, things your happy place,
Yeah.
whatever you got going on, and then just revisit the conversation and come back. But trust me, it'll pan out better if you do that way than just storming out or coming back, whatever, just whatever. So I think just go to your happy place,
Yeah.
down woosah, whatever you got to do, and come back and revisit and just talk to your wife, man. You married, just who you married. You married your wife, your spouse, your significant other. Talk to them and just
say that again though. You said you did what? You married your spouse?
Yes.
Your significant other?
Yes.
Say you did
Best
that.
friend.
You
Best
did.
friend,
You
yes.
decided that.
I decided that. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, talk
you
to the people.
decided that. So it comes with responsibility. So that's a responsibility.
Yeah.
You gotta talk.
That's a word though.
That's it.
That's a word.
Yeah.
You just took them to church with that.
Stuff people overlook, man. Yeah.
That's a word for real, y'all.
Yes.
Another gym alert. He just gym alert. He said, "I'm honored to repeat that. Like, I hope you caught it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you caught it because you've been crying. You've been late at night crying. You've been sad. You've been praying to God. You've been on your knees. You've been looking for answers to try to help your relationship in this area of communication.
Mm-hmm.
And he just said it. He said, you chose this person.
Mm-hmm.
You decided to marry this person. You decided that.
Yeah.
Now work on that.
Yep.
Like, I just want to recap, man. And through me recapping, y'all tell me if I'm missing something. Because I know we got a lot to touch on. But y'all didn't drop so many gems. Like, I don't even know. Like, I just want to, they said, started out with, listen, Jasmine started out with, hey, don't rush the person. Why rush them? If this person is meant for you, then they meant for you.
Right.
If they were meant to be in your space for a reason, then let that be. Like, don't force it because it can bite you later on down the line.
Yeah.
Rob touched on a bunch of stuff, man. He said, hey, communications, listening. He didn't say I had to talk to my wife and not run out. He said I had to listen to my wife. Right? That's gems in itself. Mm-hmm. Then he come back and say, you married that person. I mean, that's powerful, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, Jasmine, she come with the fire and say, hey, listen, learn your spouse and prioritize. Like, learn them. Is this worth the battle right now?
Right.
A lot of people do this, man, from what I have heard, man. They force the issue. They try to, I don't know, this got to happen like this way. Why do you think people do that?
Because they used one way or the highway. That's how some people.
Even with families, though, man, people so
some
quick.
Personalities.
Yeah.
Take that, but you got to compromise, man. Compromise. Got to give and take, man. You're gonna give a little bit. You're gonna take a little bit. Compromise, man. I say compromise.
Because, wow, that's powerful too. Because everybody not the same.
Everybody's not the same. No, like she said, we two different. We're the same in some aspects, but on the spectrum, we two different people.
Right, because her name is Jasmine and your name. Your name Rob.
Yeah, my name Rob. Yeah.
But the compromise is what?
Right.
The last name.
Yeah, love.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gym alert, y'all catch him. Gym alert.
Hey, I'm learning so much from them. Like, I'm taking them their spirit. Don't forget, y'all. Go play the lottery tonight. 777. Let me get some on that, man.
Sir.
That's it. It's another. Let me ask y'all this. I know that was a light note, but this is serious, man. It's another couple. I heard you say something earlier. I know your wife co-signed on it, but we didn't touch on it at all. And I know it's a couple out there that's struggling with blended families.
Yeah.
So, Jazz, let me ask. I know we, like I said, we talked about a lot of great communications, a lot of gems you guys gave about communications. But you also touched on blended families, right? Like earlier, you said blended families, and that's tough for a lot of couples.
Right.
Like, a lot of couples struggle in that area. Unfortunately, though, or maybe like they can't figure out how to bring both families together by having children outside the marriage or before the marriage. So was it tough, or can you give the people some gems on how to do that? What does that look like?
I mean, it was tough at first because when we got into the relationship, RJ was a little bit older. And
RJ is his son, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it probably was some problems in the beginning with his mom and me, because I'm the new girlfriend. So of course it was like some clashing at first, but now me and her have like a really good relationship now. So we just have to talk about it and just get over it. So me and her, she called me before she called him.
Nice.
So we just have to work on it. But it was hard at first because you got a lot of people out there. I don't want her around my son and stuff like that. But
you're touching on something, right?
That's not the case no more.
There's some people out there that just heard that, and hey Rob, they like, and I'm lying. They like, this what I'm going through. Man. Tell me how to do it.
I know going through it.
Listen, they like, tell me please, Jasmine. Tell me how do I get? Because you said something. You said you were super authentic, so I appreciate that. Giving my guests, y'all. I know y'all guessing family on the podcast, but y'all giving people out there in the world that this might be able to change their marriage, and I don't want that fact to be overlooked. Like, because there's a lot of people who don't even know where to go to get this information.
Right.
They starving for this information. Like, they married, but guess what? They, out of their friends and family, they the only people married.
Right.
People, fortunately or unfortunately, they don't know if they should go to therapy or not. They don't know if they should go to relationship counseling or not. They don't know if they should go to a pastor or not. But a lot of people listen to podcasts. So I just want to acknowledge y'all in the middle of the podcast again and say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because y'all are dropping gems and giving people hope. And by you just saying, Jasmine, you just said, it did start off rocky with, the mother of his first son. Mm-hmm. It's a woman out there that's saying, man, if I can just get past this, that'll make me and my relationship so dope. I'd be a dope couple like y'all. How can I get past it though? Mm-hmm. Well, any one of you can answer this. Do you feel like you guys actually have, I know you got some gems, but do you feel like you actually have some tactical things, some practical things to give to the audience to say, hey, we did start off rocky, but we did this, we did that, and we did that. Like, can you drop some practical things off the top of the head like that?
Well, me and her actually had to sit down and have a full conversation of what she wanted, what I wanted, and what she expected out of us being married and stuff. So she was just basically saying she didn't want RJ to be forgotten, which that was never going to be the case. But we talked and we're cool now. So we have no issues. It's been about a good 5 years that we had no issues.
Nice.
No arguing, no fussing, none of that.
I gotta explore this last 5 years because the last 5 years for y'all has been amazing. I mean, married 5 years, kids, no argument. I know some, y'all go through y'all stuff, but she dropped the gem, y'all. I hope y'all caught it because I did. And whoever I get to help, I want y'all to catch that because she just gave y'all some knowledge. Do not be afraid of the sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's mandatory.
A lot of people, from what I hear, they don't have great relationships with the mother or the father of the children from prior relationships because they don't even sit down with them. Mm-hmm. Did you have a part in that? With them sitting down, did you help orchestrate that? What was your play in that?
That was her.
Oh, wow.
She, I knew it was eventually going to have to happen. She's the mother, RJ's mother, used to tell me and stuff, but it was easy when my partner wants to go sit down. This is the part where people don't get because this person really don't want to. I don't want to talk to her, the old mother and things like that. But she was willing. She wanted that, so it was okay. She want to talk. She want to talk. Let's do it. And she made it happen. She reached out. That's just her, man. It's superwoman to me, man. But
I just
that's
don't
all
want her to think that, I was coming into RJ's life trying to take her place. Because I wasn't, but I am also still considered a mother figure in his life. But I just wanted to let her know, I'm not trying to take your place, but I do care for your son. I love your son just like I love my all kids. So.
Let's talk about that. This how I know y'all married. Y'all married. You know what I mean? Because y'all bounce off each other well. And I know y'all feel this because the energy in the room is crazy. You start off, Jazz. And I want to repeat. I'm always repeating because I do not want you guys to miss the gems, right? The first gem was, hey, do not be afraid to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sit down with the person.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sit down with the mother or father of the child from the previous relationship. You have to. It's mandatory. Why did you say it was mandatory to sit down?
I just didn't want her to think I was trying to take her place in RJ. I didn't want her to say, oh, you're just trying to get us nothing. And I just want her to feel comfortable with me being around RJ because we'll be around RJ the rest of our lives. So
nice.
We had to come to an agreement because I'm not going nowhere. So
nice. Can I I gotta get an audience, like I gotta repeat what y'all said again, man. So she said don't be afraid to sit down. Rob followed up with also she wasn't afraid of the sit down and she was willing to take the challenge. Mm-hmm. She actually, your wife actually wanted. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are afraid because they don't know what the other person is gonna say. Right? Mm-hmm. But you have to get over that fear.
Yeah.
And then you also have to want to
exactly
sit down with that person.
Because it's all about the kid. At the end of the day, it's the kid, man. So
yeah.
The rest, how you feel towards each other, ill will, you guys have a rocky relationship, that doesn't matter. It's about the kid who's going to grow in life, who needs all of us.
And it's about...
It takes a village.
And it's about y'all relationship, right? Yeah. Like, it's a lot of people, unfortunately, who their relationship is shattered from somebody else's opinions or biases or thought process. Mm-hmm. Jasmine also followed up, guys, like, you say, that's great, man, go sit down. You telling me, go sit down, right? Like, but you telling me I want to do that, but I don't know what to say. Jasmine told y'all what to say. She literally said, hey, when you go sit down with the person, you can tell me if I'm wrong or right, Jazz. When you go sit down with the person, tell them, like, hey, I'm not going to overstep you, but I want to be here. That's pretty much like, that's how you can, if I was in a situation and I was on the other end listening to that, that's what I would take away. Like, hey, go sit down with the person, want to be there, and now you just gave the people some tangible things to say. Then somebody say, okay, what do I say? How about start off by saying, hey, I want to be in your son or daughter's life, and I'm not going to overstep you, and I'm going to help you through the process. Maybe look at it like you got, who doesn't, like you said, who doesn't want a village taking care of the kid?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? Let me ask you this, because I know, I think you guys said it earlier, your wife had a kid before you, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, was it challenging for you? I don't know if you spoke to the father. I don't know, but was it challenging for you to embrace a woman with a baby, or like because there's some people out here who they say this. You know where I'm going with this? They say, I can't date no woman with no child now. But how was it for you as a young man too? You were young.
Yeah.
I know you had a kid, but you were still young. Like, how did you embrace that?
I think it was just easier because things I seen and before me and people telling me, just like I said, I got a strong support system, but people I talk to and things like that, things I've seen and other men that I've seen, the things that they did, so I just kind of followed and mirrored the actions they took and figured, and I did speak with the father, but
challenges
arose. It wasn't like theirs, but that situation's a little different, but we did get past and everything.
But it's good that you brought that up, though.
Right.
That's
because everything it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be as smooth as, she said you're going to have two people. Some people just
don't be afraid to say that. Yeah. They need to hear that, though.
Right.
Because somebody who like, man, I did all three gyms that they said. I sat down with them. Mm-hmm. I wanted to sit down with them, and I said what Jasmine said, and it still ain't go the best. Mm-hmm. Can you? I know you just touched on it, and you just said, hey, it might not go the best.
Right.
It might not go that route, but somehow you persevere through that.
Right. I just said what I'm here. This is what I'm doing. He's good. He in great hands. And, after that, you can't really expect nothing. It's about the child. Like I said, it's about the child. So they're happy. I'm here for his well-being and everything, he wants to do. I'm supporting him. So it's nothing you can kind of combat with that at all.
So what you say?
And Rob was around when I was pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there when he was.
Jaleel only knows him as his father.
Nice.
So that's another thing. So
And this, I'm glad you spoke on that because there's a lot of people who are in that situation, and there's young folk, right? They don't know what to do. So you guys were, I think that's another dope thing about your relationship. You guys were kind of older than what you really were.
Right.
Like you were mature.
Right.
Right. Let me ask you a question, Rob, because you spoke on something, and I just want people to catch it because I'm catching all of these gems because I'm here, and I hope they catch it too. You said it might not go right, or it might not go how you wanted it to be, right? You're gonna get challenges, but what I took from what you said was don't stray away from the responsibility.
Right.
Do you think that's what carried you through, like with your wife and the challenges with the father and being young? You didn't stray away from the responsibility.
No, I stepped up to the plate all the time and everything I do. That's just me. But like you said, I'm always gonna take the challenge and step up to the plate with anything.
I asked that question because I feel like, I don't know, man, I could be wrong, but I asked that question because I feel like a lot of times when people, they try to figure it out with the other spouse, with the other person before,
Right.
and once they don't figure it out, they kind of get discouraged and they say, well, I'm going to just do my thing, I'm out.
Right.
Instead of like kind of staying in it.
Yeah,
do you feel that? Have you seen that happen with other men? Like,
yeah. The other person, like the other significant other or the older, child's father, or whatever, they kind of discourage and walk away like, oh man, this gonna be too much and things like that. But see, I can't.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, it's tough.
What's the reward for staying in it?
The child.
Yeah.
The look of the child.
Talk about
the smile. It's the child. It's all about the child. So it don't matter what that person's saying, or if you guys don't get along, if you guys can't come with a mutual ground. It's about the kid, man. And if this relationship is strong, this what entails in this relationship, and this one I'm kind of keep strong, and this is what I'm trying to, build off of and things like that. So, I mean, if this is what I'm focused on right here.
How long you been around Jaleel, right?
Yeah.
That's her son.
Yeah.
I know that's your son, but
Right.
how long you been around him?
Oh, it's like
How old is he?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Wow. So by him being 12, would you change being around him for the world? Anything?
No.
You wouldn't change that, right?
No.
That's a gem, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, gem alert. He stuck through it. He stuck through the challenges in the beginning of his relationship. And now, through sticking through the challenges, he is even getting something from it, which is, I wouldn't trade this child for the world. Like, this is my son.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people miss. Like, they don't understand that, like, eventually, the bond that's going to be created, no matter what that person
No
did,
matter what
you
that
would never
person
change
did.
with
You would
this.
never change, right.
You would never. Now you and him will have a bond for life.
Right.
Like, that's super dope.
Yes, sir.
Dope alert. Y'all a dope couple, man. Look, 777, man. Like, y'all doing y'all thing, man. Y'all, you got a clothing brand. Your wife over there rocking this 7 Love, looking pretty, man. Like, y'all doing y'all thing, man. I just want to ask, man, listen. Y'all talked about communication. Y'all dropped gems, right? You literally talked about how to help a blended family. Let me recap on that because a lot of people might have missed it because they've been so, I know y'all paying attention, but it's so much. It's so heavy. Rob said, stay in it, right? He said, fight through the challenge.
Stay consistent.
Stay consistent. If you can fight through the challenge, the kid is going to get something. Everybody's going to get something, and you are going to get something. So, in the beginning, the journey
is going to be tough.
And you might sacrifice yourself.
Yeah.
But eventually, you're going to get a return.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't forget what Jasmine said. She dropped the first couple gems, man. I mean, she said, listen, don't be afraid of the sit down. And she gave you the verbiage. Hey, I'm here to support. I'm not going to overstep you, but just know I'm going to help this grow into a nice family. Like, that's so powerful. And I just want y'all to sit on that for a second. Don't be afraid of the challenge and don't be afraid of the sit down. And whatever comes out of that, know it's going to be for the family.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Reward for you and your family. That's all that matters. That core.
With you guys, do you feel like you have anything else to add on communication or blended family? Because I know this. I mean, y'all been dropping so many gems. Like, I don't even know the people. I should charge these people for listening for this podcast. I'm just serious. Like, they should get. I should charge them for listening to
$7 too.
Man,
What you charge them? $7.
hey, $7.07.
$7.07. 77 cents.
Oh, we get nasty on the podcast. Listen, do y'all any more? I mean, communication or blended families. Like, do y'all feel like I got any more gems to get to people? I know y'all been giving y'all all in y'all heart. Is there anything else like with you that you would want to tell the people about, like communication or blended families? And matter of fact, while you're thinking about that, I got a better question for you. Through this blended family, what does the next 7 years look like?
The next 7 years look like
For this family, like any more kids?
No more kids.
Hey.
My older kids are in college somewhere out of my house.
Okay. Will you do you think you guys will still be in the Chi-Town, Chicago? You ever moving?
Maybe that's in the thoughts. That's been talked about.
Okay.
So maybe.
I know. Let me ask you about your brand again. Do you have a physical location?
Everything's web based.
Okay, nice.
Right now, yeah, everything is web based right now. But in the future, in the next 7 years, talking about future, it could be a location here, there, and everywhere.
Nice.
So look out for that in the next 7 years. But right now, everything's web based.
That's super dope, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, I want to be invited. Y'all know I gotta be there. Y'all know we family, man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all 20 year. When y'all make it to 20 years, I know y'all gotta do something special, man. Y'all planning that already?
Yeah, I got something special
for.
Yeah, I got something special. Yeah.
You gonna say that? Or you gonna drop it on the podcast?
I'll drop it later. Not yet. I got something special though.
Nice.
Something special. It's gonna be something special.
Well, I want to do an exercise before we end the podcast, but I gotta know: is there anything else you guys want to give the people? Because I heard so much. I heard communication is key, and I heard how to communicate. Give your partner time and space. Mm-hmm. First thing is understanding who your partner is and who
learn them.
Yeah, learn them first.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to give a person time and space, you don't even know who they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, don't pressure the man. We live in a different time now, but women are actually marrying men now. Don't pressure the man or women to get on their knees, exactly. Right? Like, don't, because later on you're gonna get, it might be some consequences for that pressure. Yeah. Right? You talk about blended families. You said, man, go through the challenge because it's something greater at the end of it. Mm-hmm. You said, hey, don't be afraid of the sit down. I want y'all to do this exercise for me and embrace the exercise, embrace the moment. You're not going to know what's about to happen, but whatever your body feels, whatever your heart feels, whatever your mind feels, don't be afraid of it, right? And I challenge you guys, and I honor you guys, and I want to give you the challenge when you get home and when challenges do arise for your marriage, even though I know I'm praying for a happy, successful marriage throughout the entirety of your marriage, try this exercise. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be dope. Okay. So face each other right now. Okay. And literally look at each other, and you're gonna go back and forth. It's like a game, right? It's like a game, right? So the game is our unity created. So look at each other, and you're gonna start off, and you're gonna say, our unity created what? And then you're gonna go back and forth. Whoever loses really owes the other person a dinner night, a date night. But I'm gonna let y'all decide what the loser gotta do. Whoever, so is our unity created whatever. Our unity created a baby. Our unity created love. Whatever your unity created in 13 years, you're gonna go back and forth. Whoever pauses or stops or can't think, we're gonna stop you right there. But we're gonna just do a little clip for the people so they can do it at home. So you start off. Try this man at home when y'all get time, but they got to show you how it's done the right way. Our unity created, go.
7 love.
Our unity created all these kids.
Our unity created me and my wife's dope relationship.
Our unity created And I lost. I lost.
Alright, see, so say one more. So we're gonna do it like this. Say two more and then we done. Our unity created what?
The opportunity of being on the Love Conquers podcast.
Oh.
You know, I ain't even had the other one.
Yeah, she definitely lost. She only was
date night. She talking about date night. Now she owe me.
Yeah, she definitely on the date
do
night.
that.
So I'm gonna say what I see that your unity created, and this is just what I see, right? Y'all unity created communication, a blended family, and super success. So I appreciate y'all for being on the Love Conference podcast. I thank you, man. And I honor y'all once again. I'm praying for nothing but success for y'all marriage and y'all family and y'all businesses. Because I know y'all unity created so much more. So when you get home, try to do it again. Get in a space of just y'all. What y'all unity create? Money? What y'all unity create? Sadness?
Yeah.
What did y'all unity create? Hard night? What did y'all unity create? Blessings, a wedding, whatever.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And just try that again and see how you feel about it.
Okay.
So I appreciate
you, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And before I know they just said, all they gems. I know they about to get out of here. But I got my man, the man of the hour, to literally give y'all a dope discount to go shop with. You said 7 Love. What's the website again?
7loveapparel.com. So if you gotta get a chance to go in there, for all subscribers on the Love Conquers podcast, so we're gonna offer a 20% discount. So once you get ready to check out, use the code LoveConquers20 and you should get 20% off your order.
Love Conquers 20. You get 20% of one of the hottest, dopest brands in the city, man. Let's get it, man. Y'all love. Be blessed.